1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Sometimes I don't get my right channel. I don't know why. We try again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Sometimes you get it and sometimes you don't.
Yeah, like earlier I was getting it and now it's gone again. So let's see.
My feet are sweating.
They should smell lovely by the end of the day.
Well, I have like little socks on.
Uh,
It's a whole sock that I folded in half,
yeah,
but
yeah. Okay. I'm going to do that little introduction again where I say who I am and who you are.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, my name is Day Johnson. I'm here with Mr. Larry Norman at the Needham Family Reunion on August 26, 2006, and we're interviewing him for the African American Oral History Project. Okay, can you please state your full name for me and spell it again?
My name is Larry Norman. You may spell it. L-A-R-R-Y, Larry, Lee, L-E-E, Norman, N-O-R-M-A-N.
Can you please tell me your date and place of birth again?
I was born February the 5th, 1944, Stockport, Ohio.
And who were you raised by?
I was raised by my grandparents.
And what were their names?
Their name was Darcy Norman and Haven Norman.
And how did you come to be raised by your grandparents?
I was born at the house. I was born in their home, and
Sorry. I didn't hear. Your glasses, we can see the reflection.
Can you take off your glasses?
oh, okay.
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 Okay, we're going to start over.
Okay.
What is your full name?
My name is Larry Norman. Larry, L-A-R-R-Y, Lee, L-E-E, Norman, N-O-R-M-A-N.
And what is your date and place of birth?
I was born February the 5th, 1944, Stockport, Ohio.
And who were you raised by?
I was raised by my grandparents.
And what were their names?
Her name was Darcy Norman. My grandfather's name was Haven Norman.
And why were you raised by your grandparents?
I was born in a home, and they weighed a pound and a half when I was born. Dr. Whitaker, he's going to get me up to bed. He thought he'll never make it. And the only reason they kept me there, they had an incubator, and they had to kill the white sand, and that's what they did on the old stove, and that's the only way they had to keep me warm. So I just stayed with them.
So what was it like growing up deaf?
Well, when you're growing up deaf, the kind of people don't realize it, it'll make you lonely, and you don't like to get around the crowd because it's hard to. Because the reason it makes you lonely because it makes you repeat so many times, you'd rather stay away from the crowd. That's what makes you lonely.
How old were you when you got your hearing aid?
I was about, if I remember, I was probably about 7, 8 years old, somewhere along in there.
And so how did you communicate before you got your hearing aid?
Before I had my hearing aid, I used to hear a little bit better than I did. I used to read lips. The read lips was one of the biggest help thing there is. So.
How do you think being deaf affected you growing up? What
Well,
were some of the challenges you had?
Well, it's number one, when we go back and talk to when I went to school, when I went to school, and they didn't take the time with you back there then on one-on-one. And because if they would have caught me on one-on-one, I think I would have got a better education than what I have today. And I think they got it today and not what they had they used to be. So I think that's one of my goals right there. Mm-hmm.
Did you ever learn sign language?
Not very much. No, I knew a little bit, but not much. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell me about when your son was born.
I mean, my son?
Yeah, your son.
Well, my son was born, he was born in Beverly, Ohio. He was born at the doctor's office. And he was born, and he was pretty good, but we didn't find out that he had an open pilot, and he had to have surgery. Then he had to go to the Children's Hospital in Columbus.
And what happened when you were at the Children's Hospital in Columbus?
When I was there, we was talking there. We got ready to go. And there was a lady. She came to me and she asked me. She said, "What is your personality?" And I told her what I think. Well, I'm supposed to be part Indian, but I'm supposed to be it, okay? And my grandmother always told me, not just like I told her, that I'm just American. That's why that's all I said.
Tell me about the Columbus Normans, your cousins that used to come and visit you in Stockport.
Okay, my Uncle Dow, and their wife and their kid, they used to come down back in 1956, and we played in the wood. We was raised in the wood. We played in the wood. We played like cowboys and Indians. And they done that for the last, I'd say, for 3 years. And then after they got a little bit older, to Tony and Junior, when they got older, then they went into the service. Then after they got into the service, and one of them married a Filipino, a foreigner, and the other one married a girl from Columbus, but they just never did come around and associate with her after that.
Why do you think they didn't come around after
Because I think it's quite a path for white. That's my goal. I think that's what I think about it.
Do you know, has anybody else in your family passed as white besides them?
Oh yeah, I know a lot of them. Willard, that was my grandfather's first cousin. His name was Willard, and he had a boy named his name was Willard Jr. and he lived in Columbus. And he had a boy named Raymond. Then they had a boy named Bobby, and they all live out there in Columbus. And they don't even come around church with us.
Why do you think people pass as white?
They want to follow the star and follow the world. That's the way I got it, just because the white sin. What makes the difference in the white sin to the black sin? I don't care what I am. I thank God for what I am. You know.
Tell me, what was life like growing up in Stockport?
Oh, it was just like a Stockport. Matter of fact, I'll be honest with you, I think I was about the only black who was in that school, down there at that time. And it was just kind of, it makes you lonely. It just makes you, I had some pretty good friends, but you're still a little bit lonely when you went to school there.
So, how old were you when you married? How old were you when you got married?
I was 24. I was 24 years old when I got married. If the Lord willing, we'd be married 38 years, the 14th of September.
And how did you meet your wife?
I met her at the mayor's reunion. It was always the third Sunday in July. That's where we always met.
And what other families are the Needhams related to in this area? What are some of the families that you guys are related to?
The Needhams, on my mom's side, her sisters, and all, we'll be first cousins. And that's why I kind of related it. It's on my mom's side, and her sister Helen, she married a Needham, and that's how we got acquainted with him. Okay.
So it's who's a Needham?
My mom was a Needham. Okay. Oh no. I'm sorry. Back that up. Got me too quick. She was a Needham.
Your mother?
Yeah, she was a Needham. Okay, I got messed up on. I'm sorry.
So, what other families are the Needhams related to in this area?
They're related to the Needham. And I think the biggest one I know is the Needham and the Stephen. Okay, those are the only two, related to them.
Now, is there anything you'd like to tell me that I haven't asked you in our interview?
You got me. Now, what is it now?
Is there anything you'd like to tell me that I haven't asked you that you remember?
Well, what you want to ask me? I can answer anything you want to ask me.
Are there any stories that you think are important that I haven't asked you about? About growing up or your adulthood?
I can tell you a lot of stories. Right here in Zanesville, I was eating in a restaurant, and I just got hungry. I forget what street that was, and that was back in the 60s. And I waited for a half hour before I got served, and I was pretty well upset. And I was about ready to throw over the table. That's just the way they are. That's one of the things that I've heard of. And also, and I have seen some, I'm just going to tell you just like it is. Just like in the Kings Island. I've been in the line before, in the line, the line that, and also that I have seen, I'm just going to tell you, I have seen some blacks get in the line and crowd in front of the white people. I called my wife, I said, that aggravates me, the way they do that. I said, what they want to do, they want to start a fight and start a big fight. Well, what the other people do, they just back off, and that's what we did. So that's just the way they are sometimes, and I can tell how these blacks are because I was raised around them. At that name, at that time when we lived there, they call that allotment. If you want to know some more information about the allotment in Ravenna, you talk to my mom.
Allotment?
Yeah, that's allotment in Ravenna. You talk to Mom about that, and she'll tell you all about it. Because I wasn't very old at the time when I lived there.
Now, was your mom living in Ravenna?
Yeah, she lived in Ravenna.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
And your grandparents were there too?
Yeah, I'll tell you what happened was my dad called and said there's a job in the turnpike up in the Ohio Turnpike. So we just moved up there. I think we lived there for about a year. Then they moved there, and that's where we stayed at. We didn't stay there. We had a little apartment to stay there. There was an old guy named, his last name was Robert. I think his last name was Robert. And he was a black guy, and he raised me. He was a babysitter for me when I was little. So I can just barely remember that.
How much older was he than you when he was
Well,
babysitting?
I was probably about 57. I was probably about, I was about 10 years old, about 10, 11 years old.
And how old was your baby, Robert?
But who?
How old was the babysitter?
Oh, no. Roger, he was an older guy. He was in his 60s, damn. He was a lot older. Oh, yeah.
So what kind of things would you do when he babysat you?
Oh, I can't remember. I just usually play outside, He just sat and just watched over while my parents was working, and he just sat there and watched it,
So how was it playing with other kids when you were little? Were they very accepting of you, or did you have problems with the other kids?
No, not really. They were pretty good kids, I never had any trouble with them.
So when you were in Ravenna, you got to be with your brothers and sisters?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. How was that? Because you hadn't been with them before.
Well, I knew them ever since, we were little, but I've seen them maybe once a year, maybe 2-3 times a year, but really we never really got together real close until the last few years when my dad died. My dad died in 1989, and then I got more closer, than we ever have been.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell me before we end the interview?
No, that's about all.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So,
You talk to Jesse.